Hey guys, so today or tomorrow you are going to be a little kitchen scientist. We'll see how this goes, but you should have hopefully some materials. The first thing you need is some sort of bowl, like a mixing bowl. It can be metal, it can be plastic, whatever you guys have that you would do baking in. And you're gonna want to fill this with some cold water or even better, ice water. So get nice cold water in here. And then you're going to need an empty soda can, probably, depending on how quickly you figure this out. You might want a few of these. I'm guessing you're gonna have one can that you test with until you actually figure out how to do it, and then a second can maybe that you actually videotape. That way you're not wasting your phone storage videotaping every single try, especially if it takes you a few attempts to figure it out. You're gonna need some tongs so that you don't burn yourself to grab the can. Mine's actually not fully empty. I'm still kind of working on it. And then you're going to need some sort of stove or a heat source. So in my house, we have an electric stove. Sorry, that's not helpful. So you can see I can put the aluminum can right on there. If you have a gas stove, you might want to use like a skillet and put the can on the skillet so that the aluminum's not directly in contact with the flame. Additionally, just a little tip. So this is a Gaslight unit. So we know that this soda can is filled with gas when it's empty. But it turns out that when you put things on a stove, they tend to burn. So what we can do is if you put a small layer of water in here, not a ton, just a tiny, tiny bit, into your empty can and then put it on here, that should prevent the can from burning, and it'll just heat up the water, which ultimately will heat up the gas. Again, we don't really care about the water that much. It's just more so that we can heat the gas inside here without heating up and burning and the aluminum. So you got tongs, you got your ice bucket, you got this guy. I want you to try to figure out how can you crush this can without just crushing it, right? On its own, just like the tanker car. It might take a few attempts. Don't get frustrated. Keep trying. The only reason you should stop is, one, you figure it out. Two, you're setting stuff on fire in your kitchen and making your mom mad. Don't do that. So once you have been successful and you think you've figured out a way to get this can to implode on its own, essentially, without squeezing it, you are going to kind of write up your results and submit it here. So you already did step one while you're watching it right now. And then the materials we already took care of. And so if you need a refresher on what the rail car was, or the tanker car, what I'm talking about, there's the discussion with the video. But again, it might take you a few attempts. That's fine. You're just trying things out. And then once you are successful, so let's assume you're watching this because you've been successful, you're ready. You have some options to prove your success. You can have someone, or you can do what I do and set up your video camera so it's leaning up against something by making a short video clip of you successfully getting the can to implode. So just show me your experiment. Or you can take several pictures, kind of step one, what you're doing, then step two, then step three, right? That's probably a little easier if you have someone else to take the photos for you. Otherwise, I think the video clip's an easy option and it's cool. And then you're also going to include this with your video or your photos. You need to explain why and how the can was crushed, explaining what gas variables were changing and how, and connect your ideas to internal and external pressure. You will also have before and after particle pictures. One thing I noticed in our last discussion is a lot of us forgot the arrows. So pressure is shown by the direction of the arrows, temperature by the length of the arrows, and volume is the size of the particle box, or the box that your particles are in. So I'm looking for an explanation and before and after pictures. If you choose to go the video route, you are totally fine explaining what's happening while it's happening during the video. You don't have to type it up. If you go with the pictures, you're going to have to type up your explanation. But if you want to verbally explain it in your video, that's fine. And I do give some options of how, like an easy way to upload your video to YouTube and making it unlisted so only I can see it by sharing the link. And again, if you make the document with photos, you would have a written explanation typed in, and then you can either digitally draw the pictures using Google Draw or upload photos of hand-drawn pictures. Same with the video. You can hand draw particle pictures on a piece of paper and videotape yourself explaining them, whatever you think is best to prove to me, one, that you did this successfully, and two, that you understand what's going on. Good luck, guys. Have fun.